Thelonious Monk has one of the coolest names in jazz, and that's his real name. Um, so he was a jazz pianist from originally from North Carolina, but he seemed to spend most of his career in New York, as far as I can tell. His career spanned from the 1940s to 1973. He spent quite a while being unappreciated because he has a very odd style of playing the piano. Um, for example, a little nugget that I enjoyed. In 1948, he was showcased to play a week at the Village Vanguard. Now, I'm picking up while doing these reviews that the Village Vanguard was a very prominent jazz venue in New York in the 50s and 60s, potentially as well, I think. So he did this, he was billed for this showcase for a week at the Village Vanguard, and nobody turned up at all, apparently. So he was recognised and hailed as a genius. He's one of the few jazz musicians to have made it to the cover of Time magazine, and he's had a decent number of recordings. Hi, my name's Dan, and yes, I'm in my dressing gown. Get over it. There's a red button down here, somewhere in the middle, I believe. Don't know where it appears on your phone, which has the word subscribe on it. If you click that button, then magically a little bell appears to this side of it. And if you click the bell, then you get the option to click the word all. And if you do that, then you'll get a notification every time I publish one of these videos, which at the moment is, I'm going a little bit faster than one a day, it would seem. So you'll be able to join me on my ride through the greatest albums of all time. I've got a list. I don't know how far I'm going to get, but the intention is that I'm going to do all the list. And the list is 3,000 long, and I'm still in the first 100. Okay, come and join me. Let's go on this ride together. I'd love to have you with me. Right, so this album. So this is Thelonious Monk, and this is mostly solo piano. On the cover it says it's solo piano, but it isn't entirely that, because there is one track at the end which includes sax by a guy called John Coltrane, who also appears on this list in other places, and bass from a guy whose name I didn't recognise. So this is, I think, the first time I've ever heard a Thelonious Monk album. I have heard of him, and I know that he's very well regarded. And I have to admit, I was quite bemused. So I think I don't get it. I think that there's a whole thing here that I don't understand. Probably because I'm not that deep into jazz. So let me see how much description I can do. It's a very odd style that he's got. He's playing the piano, and it's disjointed. So he's got long pauses in between bits, and then he goes fast, and he speeds up and slows down a lot. He often seems to be hitting, instead of just one key, like the key and the key next to it at the same time. So it's got a lot of very kind of tight discords going on. And then other bits of it are quite discordant, but that's kind of more in keeping with my expectations of relatively free jazz. And then he puts in runs and arpeggios, and it's so he sounds like a ham-fisted guy hammering away at the piano, and then suddenly you get this kind of trill, and it's like, and it's obviously really technical and able to do that. It goes in and out of rhythm. He sometimes does a little bit of doom-be-ding kind of stuff in the bass that goes, yes, we've got a rhythm going, and then it stops. So it's very kind of disjointed in that sense. So I have to say, when I was listening carefully to it, I was mostly bemused, and I kind of didn't really get it. When I was distracted and wasn't listening quite so carefully to it, it irritated me in the background. I just felt, because it wouldn't settle and it wouldn't do anything that I could kind of, my subconscious could latch onto as a pattern, then I felt like it was just like a jarring noise that was going on, which I want to be able to understand what are the qualities here, and what is it that other people have obviously seen in this guy, and he has a name that is really well respected and has been hailed as a genius. I don't see the genius. So this is what the comments are for down here. I would love anybody who understands this and who knows why this music is regarded as being good to actually put some comments in and educate me. I love that, please, because I just did not get it. And yeah, I did not particularly like it either. So that's it from me for now. Actually, no, I'm back. There is something I want to add, because that last track where there's a sax playing along with them and the bass, but you can hardly hear the bass, actually, although it was very similar playing, with the sax along, it seemed to somehow make more sense. Why is that? That is it from me for now.